literally saved a life that day.
They got stuck in the middle of a snowstorm.
He literally told us that he was going to take his last breath before he heard the helicopter.
They were on a approximately 45-degree cliff face full of ice.
20-year-old guy fall down a 50-foot cliff. I rappelled my corpsman first into the cliff. It was over a 200-foot rappel. Us, from our perspective, it looked like a little creek, but come to find out it was a raging river and the waters were below 50 degrees. The most dynamic rescue I've ever done in a canyon in the trees. Now, in the time that he's trying to effect a rescue, he can't feel his hands, he can't feel his feet, and he's soaking wet because he fell into this raging river. He's literally putting this guy in the basket, and he can't even feel his own appendages. It's a very dynamic environment that we fly in, very high altitudes, the winds in the valleys and the top of the mountains.
We are here. We stand a 24/7, 365-day-a-year alert, 400 lives in over 10 years. We're at 47 missions so far this year. Each of our air crewmen is actually rescue swimmer qualified in addition to the capability of being crew chief qualified. Those crewmen can not only fly in the air, but deploy over land and swim in the water.
We wouldn't be able to do it without the incredible pilots that we have here.
One of the things that we like to talk about is that our unit has unique capabilities that other units and other rescue units, whether it's civilian, state, military, has in Washington, Oregon, or even in the Idaho area. So we bring a higher altitude and a more severe weather capability than some of the other units.
Very lucky to be stationed here. In my opinion, this is the best place in the United States Navy that we can be stationed.
The aircraft is the MH-60 Sierra Nighthawk aircraft, a range of approximately 350 nautical miles, depending on conditions. We can fly for about 3 hours. We keep 3.5 hours of fuel on board. The aircraft is capable of up to 180 knots. That's, of course, downhill with the wind at your back, and up to a 13,500 feet service ceiling. The number one thing is just to be prepared. Do research, take a look at where you're going, make sure you understand what the weather is going to be for the duration of the time you're out there. Recognize that you're not likely going to have a cell phone. The service isn't going to reach in these remote areas, and they're beautiful. We want people to go out and enjoy what the Pacific Northwest has to offer. Just be prepared. Some specific things you can do, bring extreme weather gear. Understand that you may be out there longer than you originally planned. And we encourage everyone, particularly if you're going to be alone, to take what we call a personal locator beacon. These can be easily purchased at any outdoor store for relatively cheap, considering what it would cost if we weren't able to find you if you needed us.